Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Pitbull Cruz. Isaac Cruz is now the WBA super lightweight champ because he stops Rolly Romero in the 8th round. And I can't remember. I did a preview and I said it's between the 6th and the 8th or something like that. I got this one right, but makes a nice change. But yeah, Pitbull dominated against Rolly as we thought he would. In the first round, you see, in the first round, I remember thinking before this fight, Rolly's got to be really careful early on because Pitbull's going to come out banging and he could be over very early. And I thought for a moment it was going to be over in the first. I think most of us did because within 5 seconds, you knew what Pitbull was going to do. He was going to come over like he normally does, no jabs, just sling these overhand rights and lefts. He's only 5'4", which is short for the 140 weight. He's got the right nickname, Pitbull. Rolly, much, much taller. Pitbull's now 26 wins with 18 KOs and 2 defeats. Both of the defeats are on points. Rolly come in with 15 wins, 13 KOs, but he's never faced anyone with a jaw like Pitbull's. He had that one defeat to Tank, and he did quite well against Tank, actually. Got stopped in 6, of course, but he wasn't doing too badly. But within 5 seconds, Pitbull slinging these punches over. And Rolly, as we know, has, shall we say, defensive deficiencies. And we thought, okay, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to move your head? You're going to get out of the way? Nope. Pinging off Rolly's head. And Rolly, he got badly hurt with a punch to the temple. And I thought I was back in the early 80s, watching breakdancing and, electric boogaloo and, double Dutch because Rolly's suddenly flopping around the ring like he's doing a little bit of a turn, And how he stayed on his feet, I do not know. It was like his bones had come out of his body and he was just flopping around. And he went back to he flopped onto the ropes, Pitbull's after him. But I tell you what, Rolly, you can say what you like about Rolly. And yes, he has some immense deficiencies in his game. And certainly with his defense, you could drive a truck through some of those gaps. But he's game. He's a game kid. And he was firing back even when he was under the worst type of fire and on the verge of being stopped. He was firing back, and I thought at one point he was taking so much punishment the referee might jump in the first round and stop it, which would have kind of been poetic justice considering the very, very controversial way in which Rolly won his title against Ismael Barroso. Now, in the second round, we were all thinking this is more of the same. But Rolly didn't do too bad. And I don't know whether Pitbull thought, all right, you're still there. Maybe you've got a bit of a jaw, which, to be honest, Rolly has. He's taking full-blooded punches and he's not going on the floor. I'll take my time. And the second round was quite close. I know, was it one of the Goosens, Dan Goosen, I think, was scoring on the commentary and he said he gave the round to Rolly. I don't know about that, but it was reasonably close. Then in the third round, of course, normal service is resumed. Pitbull's after him again. Big overhand rights and lefts. At the beginning of one of the rounds, he did throw a jab. I'll say that for him. It's like, I better throw a jab just for the hell of it. But then, sure enough, bang, bang, bang. Rolly's getting tagged, but Rolly's moving like hell. He's virtually running around the ring, skirting around it. But when Pitbull's not throwing and Rolly manages to get into the middle of the ring, he was firing punches. This is what I mean about Rolly. He does fire punches. He does try to win. He shows a lot of gumption, a lot of guts, and maybe some people are a little bit too unkind on him. I know he's not very good. I know he talks a lot of crap outside the ring, but he gets in that ring, and this was mostly Mexican fans who were screaming for Pitbull. He went into a very sort of hostile environment and still gave it his all. He gave it everything, which is all any fighter can do. But he done it. I don't think I gave him a single round, but a few of them he was moving and he was doing a little bit of work. But every time Pitbull hit him, he was shaking him, and Rolly was it was a case of shake, rattle, and roll for Rolly. He nearly was rolled over, and he was in trouble a few times more. Certainly in the 7th round. How he got out the 7th round, I don't know. He was all but knocked over. He was all but knocked out. But again, he wasn't going on the floor. No chance. I'm still here. And fair play to the kid. He has got guts. And even when he was, virtually, concussed on his feet, he was still throwing punches back and trying to win. Well, between the 7th and the 8th rounds, the doctor had a look at him and they almost stopped it, I think. But they told Rolly, you're going to have one more chance. You're going to have one more chance. You get into trouble again, it's all over. And the referee was doing a very good job. I thought he did a very good job because he was keeping Thomas Taylor was the referee, he was keeping his eye on him. And, of course, in the 8th round, along comes Pitbull, gets Rolly on the ropes, and a salvo of punches, over the top. I mean, Rolly, I think, is about 4 inches taller than Pitbull. Over the top, left and right, left, right, bang on the jaw, bang on the side of the head. The referee steps in and stops it, thankfully, rightly so. Because Rolly did look, apart from being on those Bambi legs, he did look like he was concussed, but hadn't hit the floor. So they let the fight continue. So I'm glad it was stopped when it was. In the post-fight interview, he didn't have much to say. All he said was, it's Easter, Jesus was resurrected, so I'm going to resurrect myself. I'm going to come back to... All right, mate. Yeah, okay. But he looked a bit out of it. He ain't the brightest bulb in the floodlight, is he? Let's be honest, but at the best of times. But, great stuff for Pitbull. Thoroughly deserved win. Fought like the little Pitbull that he is. And he's difficult to hit because he makes himself even smaller than he is. Very, very high, tight guard. Very fast overhand punches. The speed of Pitbull's feet and hands is actually quite underrated. So, Isaac Cruz, good fighter. 140 is kind of a stacked division, but I'll tell you what, how about Pitbull versus Subriel Matias? Ooh, funky. I'd like that one. I would really, really love that fight. Wouldn't that be terrific? Wouldn't that be terrific? That's a natural matchup. And now he's got the belt, of course. They could have a little unification, maybe. Liam Paro is next, I think, for Subriel Matias, but the winner of that, which was probably going to be Matias, we shouldn't make presumptions too strongly, but I'd like to see Matias fight Pitbull, definitely. This was a good, entertaining fight. Credit to Rolly for hanging in there and making it entertaining because he could have gone out very, very early. And all credit to Pitbull for being Pitbull, for just being this teak, tough little sod who brings it, dedication, hard work, all the rest of it, all those cliche things. He's clearly got it, and he's maximising his talent, which is all any fighter can ever do. So, good little fight. What did you think? Comments below as normal. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button and spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Good stuff. Catch you later.